What's up, everyone? It's Gabby Trades, and welcome back to the channel. Once again, we've crushed the bias, and I hope you guys made some sort of use of it. But we're going to look at today's levels, some of levels that we need to really watch out for, and we're going to find out who and which are those levels today. Wait, I'm still waking up. Hold on. Mr. MG. All right, you guys, before we dive in, you know what to do. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and hit the bell notification so you never miss when I'm live here with you. Now, the good thing is we had record highs on the Tradfi, and we also had bullish bias that we were keeping. We were maintaining that bias for quite a long time, even though the market is overextended. Now, let's have a look real quick over here. Where we're looking at, yes, news, all-time highs, NASDAQ, record highs after the CPI report boosts rate cut hopes. Now, you guys, literally every sector was advancing yesterday. Here I have it. We had 78.4 sectors advancing on the day versus declining 18.3. Pretty much everything was on the green yesterday, including crypto did really well. Solana did insane gains, like that was crazy. Of course, after Ethereum pushed a little bit, so that was really good. Of course, everything was fueled by the CPI report, right? We had the July CPI report come over here. We can see year over year 2.7%. This is pretty much what saves. This is because it's slightly below expectations, right? Then we had the core CPI, which is excluding food and energy, ticked up a little bit to 3.1. That's, you know, it's to be honest, it is a 6-month high, right? To be fair, but the year over year is one that we're looking out for. Now, that means that the Fed easing hopes are very, very strong, and market is pretty much pricing over 90%, which is last time we had 85%. I don't know if you can see that very well. Maybe you can see that chart better over here. Let's have a look if you can. Here, as you can see, 96.3% now in expectations for rate cuts in September, which is higher, right? Last time we were looking at it, it was 85%. So that pretty much means that everyone is feeling cool about it. Everyone is feeling that we're going to get the rate cuts in September, so that rally is going to be extended. That's what everyone is thinking, because inflation is cooler than we feared, especially outside food and energy costs, right? And if we come over here, actually, let's have a look at the report together real quick over here. If you have a look, of course, at this table, which is total percentages in CPI, it is very important you guys have a look at these things. You can see here that what saved the report was pretty much, once again, the energy sector, right? As you can see over here, minus for July. This is pretty much what saved the CPI. So that is giving more hopes. And, you know, if we cut rates, borrowing is going to get cheaper, and it's going to encourage investment. So that's what investors are banking on, right? Because we're like literally a coin flip away from a rate cut in September. So that's easy money ahead for the investors if you look at them. So that's why the stocks and the overall market is celebrating. But yeah, we need to be cautious, because if inflation flares up again, right, we need to be looking at the PCE results that we're going to get this month. All of these things are very important, because if we flare up once again, the Fed might backtrack, right, dampening expectations. And if this happens, it's going to spook the market, because we clearly saw that the reaction is very intense right now. So if we get any sort of backtracking on that, it's going to be negative for the markets. And then, of course, we had the global bounces as well, because international markets did really well with a softer dollar. That makes overseas profits worth more for the US companies, and yeah, that gave a little tailwind on the global trade as well. So all these things quite positive over here. Let's have a look. Do we have anything else? No, that's it. This is what we're looking at. And then we have the core PPI that's coming on tomorrow, because it's Wednesday now, right? So usually the core PPI will follow over here. We're forecasting 0.2, 0.2 over here. So let's see if that is going to be an uptick or if it's going to be lower. And then we're having unemployment claims. Now, usually how I look at this is, because they're coming in the same day, there is going to be mixed signals in this report, that's for sure. PPI will most likely follow CPI, and then the unemployment claims will give another results that is probably going to be confusing for us. So if one does well, the other one is not going to do that well. You know how this game goes pretty much. Welcome everyone. G-Dog, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, brother. Good morning. Q4 is looking bullish. You guys, make sure you like that video today. And yesterday, you were very nice to leave comments under the video, which obviously really helps us. So me in particular, and us, of course, because the more people watch us, the more stuff I can give you guys as promotions and things like that, which is what I want to do for you guys, right? I want to give you giveaways like every month consistently, and that's important for us to have a big watch number, so I can get that for you. All right, over here, moving on to charts immediately. Of course, let's start with Bitcoin over here. What are we looking at right now? Okay, so let's just start all over because I haven't really looked at this much. So we're just going to do this together. So, you know, of course, within our range theory model, we know that 0.786, which is this area over here, is an area of rejection for Bitcoin. Now we can see that price is trying to hold. We're not really breaking structural levels over here. But if you look at the 4-hour time frame, we did indeed get some sort of like probably false short confirmation over here. But we're going to have to come back and reassess that with the coming days and see how that goes. But for now, what I can see here is that there was a clear short this morning over here with the market open at, let's have a look on the 1-hour time frame. Not with the market open, but with the day open over here. So not even that good, to be fair. Not even that good. You could have probably shorted for this candle, but you wouldn't have taken any returns here. So this is the only thing that I potentially could see for the beginning of the day. Anyway, I'm sleeping, I don't care, but these are the setups. If I'm awake, this is probably what I would be looking out for to catch a short here with this candle. But as you can see, market is very strong, holding the overall bias for the month, which is bullish, right? So the market is holding that, and as soon as we drop below the true month open, market wants to extend again. So when you're facing like a bullish bias like that, and you have the true month open region over here, and you know that overall you're bullish, you would want to be positioned below these areas. But in regards to the lower time frame on a daily, you could have potentially catch a short with this candle over here, but yeah, that's on a very low time frame, so it's probably not worth it anyway. We were sleeping, so who cares? Hello, Dottie. Welcome you guys, everyone. So yeah, for me, did I catch the ETH yesterday? No, I didn't. The reason for that is because I had a second stream yesterday and I wasn't really paying attention to the lower time frame. But Mr. Incredible pointed out to me yesterday, Gabby, have a look, did you catch it? I'm like, no mate, so I didn't even look at it. But over here, here is the perfect retracement to the 15-minute time frame down here. The asset was extremely bullish. So essentially, I'll tell you where my order was on Ethereum. It was literally down here, 4,248.5, and price rejected at 42,056. So that's literally how many points away? Not even 10. So basically, just above entry. But if I were looking on a lower time frame, as you can see, the 15 minutes over here, which was support created 10th of August, or like, yeah, around 10th of August over here, that was the support / resistant SR flip. You can get these things only if you get my indicators, you guys. I don't have to do I have to tell you again what you need to do? I've been advised by a YouTube professional that that's what I need to do, so I'm just gonna go ahead here and come in the live stream and show you what you guys need to do, right? So you need to come below my video click on the description box, and we have 31 likes and over 50 people here, you guys. Unacceptable. We can boost the likes to at least 50. So basically, if you come below description box, you can get the indicators over here, which are going to give you all the levels that you will be interested in for the day, for the long term, for everything. Also, make sure you get on the strategy course waitlist, because I'm looking to release it at the end of the month, you guys. And if you're registered, you're going to get better prices. This is what I'm telling you. And of course, if you want to trade with Bluffin, Bluffin has decided to give us $100 refund on any losses you incur using that link. You can find it over here. All right, so now that I'm that's out of the way, so anyway, yeah, so this is where my order was down here literally by the true month open. I think it was this line over here, but market was very strong, so it just bounced immediately from the 15-minute support. I don't know if you can see the lines over here. I can show them to you. These ones over here. So as you can see, I'm going to zoom in and you can see the precise tap into that zone. And tell me that the indicators are just not out of this universe. They're very good, you guys, I'm telling you, and they're very cheap. I just want to help you out. So yeah, that was pretty much the move here. We got probably up to like 10%. Did we get 10% with that move? Which is actually insane, because almost 10%. This is what we said yesterday, right? We evaluated Bitcoin, we evaluated Ethereum, and then we saw that the stronger asset is going to be ETH in that case. And Solana was doing, you got an extra like, thank you, Trojan. So yeah, basically this is what's happened. And then Solana was not doing that great. But with, of course, soon as Ethereum started pumping, and then Solana decided to get its moment as well, didn't even drop to the buy zone. Same thing as Ethereum, to be honest, because the buy zone was down here, and then you're getting, for example, the 1 hour support down here when price is bouncing super nicely from, and then that was it, right? And then it broke another support / resistance over here. And most importantly, right, most importantly for Solana, we broke above the sell zone over here. So that sell zone essentially now needs to hold. So the market is looking like it might hold here. Overall, by the way, here is a danger zone for market to reverse. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Which zone are we looking at? If you're looking at, if you're on Discord, by the way, join Discord if you haven't. Again, under the description box, you have a link that can directly get you to our Discord. We have a pro FX trader giving us teaching us his strategy, and according to his strategy, he's really much looking at the order blocks such as this one over here, right? The ones that started the move to the downside, such as this one, and he combines that with a fair value gap, which we clearly have over here. We clearly have price imbalance in between these candles, if you can see. So he would usually take a short from here, you guys, right? But what he would do is, and Dottie knows that very well, I think Gentine, Mr. Incredible, they were part of some of his courses. But the idea is that from here, what he's watching for, he's probably going to go on a lower time frame, and he wants to see 2 break of structures, which means you're going to be watching this price over here, right? You're going to be watching this price over here, and you want for Solana to confirm, for example, a drop below this level over here, which is going to be your first break of structure. And then as you go down, you would want to see a second break of structure. I don't know why my mouse is playing about over here. So there's going to be a second break of structure, and then he would be looking on a retrace to enter that short. So that's something that he does. For everyone that's complaining that he does not record the strategy, that's because this is his personal choice. Here, as far as I'm looking at Solana, we have had only confirmation short as per my strategy on the 1 hour time frame. Now, on the 4 hour time frame, you guys, if you have to wait for the 4 hour time frame, honestly, you're not going to see much, because the confirmation for Solana to go short is going to be only after price travels below $175. So overall, looking very bullish, right? We just need to see what this sell zone is doing. If we get some sort of confirmation here in a lower time frame, maybe you're gonna get some sort of chance back into the sell zone, which is essentially now going to be an inverse, so potentially a buy breaker block over here that you might be looking for support to hold. And of course, then you'll be looking at other daily levels. If you get over here, no, you only have, I think, the 1 hour level, which is probably important for us to watch down here in case we get any pullbacks, but I'm quite positive for now. And overall, if we look at Sol, right, on a higher time frame, overall, if we look at Sol on the higher time frame, we can see that Sol has been maintaining the 0.5 over here, right? We had a clear bounce. If you can see it over here, we had a clear bounce from the 0.5. So now we are expecting for price to actually go above $300. So whether that's going to happen sooner or later, we don't know. We have to go week by week, day by day with this price. But obviously, if you have an entry down from you know, from 173, 174, I think it's good to hold, right? Good to hold, because if we get an entry, I don't think it's going to be it's going to give us an opportunity to get that low. To be fair, you guys hit the like button. Yes. So yeah, overall very positive. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance again. We can look at the channel that we were looking at last week, or the flag, the bear flag. So we were expecting for that to drop to the downside, and now Bitcoin is below 60% Bitcoin dominance. So that's very, very good. The next level we're looking at over here for Bitcoin dominance is down here, right? So now we're looking at 54.5%, which is very, very good, you guys, right? So it's happening, and price is traveling quite substantially to there. And with the help of the indicators, we can see that on a daily time frame, the first level that price is going to want to get is 55%, and then we're going to be looking down here at 50.8%. But like we saw, there is so much inflow of capital in Ethereum and in altcoins, and they have been openly, you know, the big institutions are openly saying that the pension funds are going to be making use of altcoins as well. So here it is, the big boys are in and the play is on. So Bitcoin dominance is going to have to drop a little bit more, and that is going to be good for all of us. In terms of the CME gap over here, oops, I didn't mean to draw. Let's have a look at the CME gap here for Bitcoin. Well, partial filling of the CME gap, right? Nothing special, but I think it's going to be enough for now. Partial filling is absolutely fine. I don't think that Bitcoin is going to get to new all-time highs at this stage, to be fair, even though it's still bullish. But again, I'm going to consider 120.8 here, 0.786 as a massive resistance area. And again, if we somehow make it to 123, I think it's going to be another resistance. And then in case we start pushing to new all-time highs, I think there's definitely going to be some sort of reaction at around the 125-100 level, because that is going to be the second leg on a higher time frame extension that is going to be overextended, right? Because over here with leg one, we already had the extension, right, tapped, and as you can see, price rejected quite substantially from it. So, you know, we need to be watching for that. All right, let's have a look at SUI. Let's have a look at SUI real quick here, see what's happening overall. So yeah, there is time. There is no need for panic. Over here. Yeah, SUI is looking good here on a daily time frame. Yesterday, 0.5. I mean, honestly, you guys, what more can you ask for, right? You have the 0.5 at 3.5526. You drop below it, you immediately retrace, retest into the fair value gap over here. Absolute textbook into a buy zone, right? Because with this move over here, you left a buy zone, which you can only see if you have the indicators over here, right? This was the buy zone. Let's mark it together. Let's mark the buy zone together. right? So with the help of the indicators, you're getting the buy zone down here. Look at the precision of the buy zone and the tap into it, right? So you have the buy zone, you have the support, by the way, which is here. You have the support at 3.58. You have the buy zone over here within a fair value gap, which I'm going to teach you in the course that's very, very important, that you have a buy zone and a fair value gap over here together. So as you can see, price taps perfectly into it yesterday and it rejects. So it's quite nice to see that. Now from here on, we do have one level to be paying close attention at, which is between $4 and $4.1. So if you believe that this is it, me personally, I do believe that, because it's coming from the 0.5, right? So coming from the 0.5, that means that price is going to now at the very least come to 4.6, and then it should come to 5.4 for SUI. So 0.5 is literally, in a bull market, the ultimate entry you can get, the second ultimate entry after price reaches the first ultimate entry, which is at 0.236. You know, so make sure you come in the description box and register for the course, you guys. Make sure you do that, right? For the wait list, register, because you're going to get better prices and I'm going to teach you all these things, so you will be prepared forever. Brit, that's interesting. Let's look at Pepe first, actually, for Cloud Chaser. He's got a point. Pepe is good. Pepe is good to look at. Pepe is very good because this liquidity over here, this is what I was looking at the other day. So yeah, this was pretty much the buy zone that was left over here for Pepe. So as you can see, buy zone tapped perfectly once. You have a second opportunity here at which you develop this this liquidity, and then now price is just going for that liquidity. So Cloud Chaser, if you are in, I think it's very good if you've managed to catch that, because here we have at 0.00014,789, right? Don't count the zeros that I said, but yeah, pretty much this liquidity over here. And Pepe has even more liquidity, right? 0. Whatever zeros, and then 0.000021882, almost 0.x2122 actually. So that's very good here on a daily time frame to be looking out for Pepe. So yeah, of course, Pepe is like one of the good ones in meme coins. I really like it personally, to be fair. So because it's trading nicely and it's probably going to perform really, really well. So from here, let's have a look how much that is going to be to the current liquidity. That's about 19.5%. And then we have another 77, or not another, but in total from here, like around 77.4 almost percent here that you can get out of this move, which is pretty nice. Myro is also going because of Sol. Let's have a look at Myro. Yeah, nicely. Over here, a bit of a manipulation here, as you can see, right? You take the liquidity and then you massively retrace down here. So that's a huge manipulation, and now you're getting some sort of a wick fill situation over here, which is quite normal to observe. But overall, it's not one of my favorites. Is in fact ones that I don't like to be looking at, because it is just a massive bear trend, right? A massive bear trend. So if anything, if you're lucky, you're probably gonna get you know, to this level. And if you're even more lucky, you might get up to this level as well. But yeah, you never know with these bearish assets, right? Trojan, appreciate it. You guys are more than welcome. Looking back at Pepe, how would you get an entry, or is it missed? Yeah, this is the entry pretty much at Pepe, at the buy zone. So let's have a look back at Pepe and see what we can do with the current price action. This was the level over here, right? this is the level over here. The buy zone, right? This is the buy zone over here. So right now, looking at it on a 4-hour time frame, just like with everything, right, the buy zone was a little bit lower, or you would expect for price to tap into this area over here, 108.06. But just like everything, it didn't happen. It decided to stick within this level over here. So I guess what you would be looking out for is a retrace back. So first, what you want to see here, first you want to see for this price to come a little bit higher. At the very least, you want this breakage over here, right? You want a body close above this at the very least. Can we do that a little bit more straight, like over here? Ideally, you would want a body close below both areas on a 4-hour time frame. And then if price retraces, you would be looking into this fair value gap over here. Into this fair value gap and potentially this zone over here. Let's mark it as well for you guys. That's in a case we get a pullback. Well, I don't know where this thing disappeared right now. So let's use this, whatever. So it's going to be this little zone. So starting at around 0.11359 within this fair value gap, within this entry, I think I'll be looking for something like that. If you want to be looking at it, but again, you have to wait for a little bit more breakage over here, because price might start rejecting from over here. And if it starts rejecting, right, if it doesn't break the structure and starts rejecting a bit aggressively, this might mean that price might go down and retest that level. All right, so that's why you do everything with confirmation. Before you do anything else, you have to have you know, the confirmations, dear people. So much we're making a new trend, switching up trend. I see me on the charts, correct, Jantine? I did not really catch that, sweetheart. Any thoughts on Mog? Oh, interesting, Mog. I haven't looked at Mog in a while, to be honest with you. So we're gonna do that together over here. So many zeros. So many zeros. So again, we haven't had a proper tap into the buy zone over here. Just trading from a retest over here. Let's have a look on the weekly time frame. If that would, yeah, on a weekly time frame, that would make more sense. So on a weekly time frame, the buy zone is a little bit bigger, so that would make sense over here. Yeah, that would probably make sense with this inside bar for the tap over here. So again, with Mog, you want to be waiting, right? You want to be waiting for price to break 0.1627 right over here, because as you can see, you broke it one time and then you retrace. So you're going to need a little bit more confirmation than what you're seeing right now. But it was broken once, so that's good. But as you can see over here, this leg broke structure to the downside. So essentially, this is going to be your sell zone over here, this massive bar over here. It's not set on a weekly. Let's not change the settings right now. But essentially, this whole bar over here is what is going to be essentially a sell setup. So it is trading in between right now, and you want it to break. You would want to see it. You would want to see it break. But yeah, it's not something that I'd be interested in trading necessarily, because where is it gonna go? You know, like I have no idea. Some potential liquidity here on a 4-hour time frame at 0.21. So yeah, it might happen. You know, it might happen up here. But I'm not seeing more than that. You know what? Let's look at that actually. Let's look at that. Let's look at SPX. It's been performing quite well. Like Murad's been doing a great job, but I don't think it was something that I was interested in trading, for the sole reason of this low created over here. So the break of that and the retrace, to me personally, technically didn't make any sense. So, you know, it's not something that I'm super stoked on. Weekly time frame, absolutely nothing to look out for. Let's open the daily, see if we can find something. Well, you know what? Not very great at the moment, because currently you're in between a sell setup and between a buy setup. So it really depends like how bullish you are on this asset, right? Because essentially you have broken structure here over here. So if you get a second break, probably it's going to roll over a little bit. And on a daily time frame, it has confirmed a bearish setup. So I don't know, let's see the weekly. No, the weekly time frame is going to confirm a little bit lower than this, but for me daily it should be enough, right, to show me that this is showing some sort of weakness over here. But again, it is a meme, right? I don't know, because looking at this high over here, no, that's not actually a good example, because we haven't taken a high here, but we traveled lower and then we reversed. Nice V-shaped recovery over here. Again, if you come on the course, I'm going to teach you how to, like, I can see the perfect entry here within the V-shaped recovery. Again, if you come and sign up over here for the trading course strategy waitlist, I'm going to teach you how to trade V-shaped recoveries. It's very important that you guys have knowledge on how to trade these, right? We have 62 people watching and only 43 likes, you guys. I want to see at least 20 more likes right now. At least 20 more likes right now. So yeah, S&P, not very stoked on it at the moment as I'm looking at it. But yeah, come on guys and girls. No, I really appreciate you guys for being here every single day. Let's look at ETH BTC. Yeah, very close to our first target over here. Very close to our first target, so I'm assuming that this is going to continue at the very least to take our first target here at 0.04079, and then it's probably going to go and take our second target over here on a daily time frame. Because on a weekly time frame, do we have any targets? No, and thank God that we don't have, because if we did, it was going to be a little bit dangerous in my opinion. Yeah, Gabby's a total legend. Sort it out, man. Sort it out. It takes nothing, but yeah, I get it, you guys. So yeah, that's it. Let's go back at Solana real quick, and let's not forget that we're still trading in between this this massive yellow quadrant that I drew here for you guys, right? Because this is massive resistance. So $200 for Solana has been a resistance. So if we start getting any pullbacks over here, especially within a sell zone that we came back to right now, I would assume that this might be a little bit dangerous over here. Okay, so we need to be looking out for that. 12-hour time frame, nothing to worry about. 1-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame, nothing to worry about. 1-hour time frame, however, some to worry about over here, but it is 1-hour time frame. Within such bullish reaction, I wouldn't even consider it a huge threat. But yeah, there is short confirmation on a 1-hour time frame over here. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is what it is. Coming from a sell zone, right after taking a high over here. You guys need to be watching out for these stuff. We need to be watching out. All right. Yeah, we're going to be looking at meme coins a little bit more in the coming weeks. So, Peter, I hope... Okay. Let's have a look at Doge, right? Let's have a look at Doge. We can look at Doge real quick. Doge is doing great. My bag on Doge is doing quite well. Which is great. So yeah, over here, break a block, buy zone. We discussed these things together with you guys. I don't want to go through it one more time. But yeah, over here, you know, sell from the 0.5, very clear, right? Very clear sell. You found support down here within this daily level. And then now it's bouncing again. So essentially, we really need to break the 0.282 on Doge, right? We need to break that. And ideally, what we want to do is actually we want to break it, right? We want to break it, and then we want to come back to it and retest it, right? Because if we do that, it is more highly likely that we're gonna see new all-time highs for Doge over here. So only if we do that, right? If we don't do that, it is more likely that price is going to reject from around 0.4 somewhere. So let's hope that this is going to happen, but it's still early. Anything below 0.5 is very, very good and very, very early, in my opinion. Question for Gabby: will December be the blow off top, or will it continue into next year? So I think it's going to continue into next year. When the top is going to be created, I don't know, to be fair, whether it's going to be in December, whether it's going to be in January. All I know is that I'm not going to be participating in any bullish setups post February, right? So post February, I'm done. So, you know, the high might come in February, right? I don't know. But for sure, according to how we trade, right, and the seasonalities that we're looking out for, I'm sorry for how busy this chart is, you guys. When I teach you all these things, this is going to mean nothing to you, and you're going to be very comfortable at looking at this chart. But basically, we're looking at the year in seasonality. So over here, we're expecting for the autumn period to be a very good period for Bitcoin, and we're expecting for the alts to play whatever they can throughout the summer period up until September, October. Maybe they will still do well in the autumn period, but I think Bitcoin is going to get its other shining moment. Okay, just before we start dropping in February. So make use of it, you guys. And yeah, I think this is it for today. I'm very grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. And I'll see you tomorrow for our last live stream. And again, make sure you come in the description box and check all of the promotions that I have. If you want to get $100 back, if you lose it, if you trade on Bluffin under my link, and if you lose $100, you can get it back. Bluffin is going to literally put it back in your trading account. So make sure you make use of that. It's only valid for the first 50 people actually. So just FYI. But yeah, you guys, make sure you like the video, leave a comment below because it really helps, and I'll see you guys in the next one.